I am starting to work on things beyond Spoon. I'd like to use this channel to kind of branch out. And one of the things I've been doing character carving, but the other is bird carving. And Anthony Hillman has several books out with wonderful patterns that work well for the bandsaw. And I transfer them from his drawings onto, actually this is scrap plywood, and this is his chickadee. There we are. And I would like to use this chickadee model today to talk about carving a comfort bird. I think it's as easy a project in bird carving as we can have. And it's really not that difficult, and it shouldn't be that intimidating. Anyway, so start out with a piece of wood, basswood, that is for the chickadee and a lot of the small bird feeder birds. And I sell them on my Etsy store, in my Etsy store. But it's a block of basswood that's 2 by 2 by 6. Basswood is absolutely the easiest and best wood to use. It holds detail from a knife very well. It cuts very easily. It's a wonderful thing. So I start out with a block of wood, and I also sell these in my shop, finished. But I will trace the bird onto the block. And basically the way I do it is I match the beaks up with the edge of the wood so that I know the bird is in the right position and everything will line up in the end. And then I have a bunch of scrap at the end. I try not to have too much, but I will cut out the bird all the way to the end and leave this as a hinge, and then flip it over and cut out this bird all the way to the end. I use a Sharpie to draw the pattern onto the wood. So here's a top or bottom view, and here's a side view of the bird. And when it goes on the bandsaw, this is kind of complete, but it goes on the bandsaw, and we have that drawing. And then I cut it out, and I cut out a top view and a side view. And I end up with a blank. And here we are. This is actually butternut I was playing with today, trying to learn new things. But we end up with a blank, and basswood I think is the best. And for this project, a first project, I'm hoping to do a comfort bird, which is not a real bird, but a concept of a bird that doesn't require you to be anatomically correct. Comfort birds are something people use as kind of a touchstone. So most of the carving for you is already done by the chainsaw. And I started working on half of this, and I'm afraid I'm not a videographer, and I'm pretty much a one-shot and done guy, so hopefully we'll get this in the first take. But basically all we're going to do is round it out. And I did half one side kind of for illustration and thought that I would show you carving a little bit on the other. But basically all we need to do is round out that bird, and we will have a bird shape. And he comes down here, and I wasn't happy with this, and I took it a little bit further. I think it's probably more the shape of a warbler than anything else, but it's really just conceptually a bird. And I have sanded this from 80 to 150 to 200 to 800 to 1500 grit, and it is absolutely soft and smooth. And it's supposed to be a tension reliever. Keep this in your pocket and just touch it. And I think that you could end it here. And in time, probably the oils from your hands would start to color it. I'm saying a lot. But I have, and this also is in my Etsy shop, it's a mixture of beeswax and mineral oil. And you'll see that it'll change the color very quickly. And that really is that. I sell a bunch, and I hope another time that we will carve a correct chickadee. I have a goldfinch, a nuthatch, titmouse. I do the little birds that I see at my bird feeder, and also that Anthony Hillman has been so nice as to publish some patterns for. This will, in a little bit, start to suck into the wood, and we will polish it a little bit later. That's generally, though, everything we need to do a comfort bird. And we start with a 2x2x6 block of wood, draw our pattern on, cut our pattern out, and end up with this. And from here, we take our knife and do a little fun whittling until we get what we would like. And I really do, these books have all been out of print for quite some time. I also sell the knife kit on my store. But Anthony Hillman has several books, and I would recommend all of them. They're all out of print, but they're also all easily found on eBay and Amazon. This is another one by H.D. Green, and it has more to do with painting your model later on. And this one I just love because I just love hummingbirds, and I've carved a couple. And hopefully we'll get to some of those more realistic birds another time. But for right now, thanks for taking the time. Bye-bye.